Hi, welcome back to Lift a Veil. Today I'm going to do pick a pile for helping to clarify a decision or kind of just understand why we may be stuck at a point and able to move forward. It's not always about whether or not there's a decision that we have to make, but sometimes it's just about like the idea that we're sort of just lost in our world, just not sure. Maybe we had a vision, we thought we knew where we were going, and then for some reason life just happened and we no longer knew where we were going. So I've actually picked the Two of Swords out of 3 decks, the Deviant Moon deck, the Radiant Tarot, and the Black Tarot. And so this is for the Deviant Moon Tarot, and I've also included, if you don't want to pick by the card, you can also pick by a crystal or stone. And for this one I have the this beautiful die, and so here's the 2 for the die. And I do have a picture of all of these together. And then for the second pile, I'm using the Radiant Moon Tarot, and this is the 2 of Swords for it. Or if you'd prefer to choose through crystal or stone, I have this Lapis Lazuli with it. And it looks like Cleopatra's going to come and join us. Oh, don't walk over the altar. Okay, and for the Black Tarot, this is the 2 of Swords, pile 3. It does not look like it's focusing. Sorry. All I can see is Cleopatra trying to climb on everything. And then the Black Tourmaline. Oh, there we go. And let's see, maybe she's going to come into view. Come here. You gonna come in view, or are you just gonna be just small enough not to be seen? Okay. She hates to be held. So, but I'm gonna see if I can get her to come here. And show everybody how beautiful you are. There we go. This is Cleopatra. Do you see yourself? Okay. All right, you're out of here, huh? Okay, so for this spread, I do have some pre-shuffled oracle cards, and then we'll be looking at the overall emotional and psychological state, the challenge of the choice or the stakes that are on the table, any outside influences, what the choice could look like, and the hidden positives and hidden negatives, and any shadows at play, possible outcomes, and some advice. All right, Cleo, you gotta get off the board. All right, so, oh, and now she's trying to nuzzle with the camera. All right, so we'll start with pile 1. Okay, come on, Cleo. Okay, if you chose pile 1, you chose the Deviant Moon Tarot and the die. Oh, okay. I guess she needs some love. Just give me a minute. I'm gonna pause it. I know I was gonna pause it, but she's just so pretty. She's just so pretty. Okay. All right. Okay, say goodbye. And she hates it when I shuffle. She's not comfortable with the sound, so that's gonna immediately put her off. All right, so oh, yep, there she goes. All right, so pile number 1. What information do we have for you? Okay. So for the pre-shuffled oracle cards, we have Gaia's Dragon, the Bat, Baby Steps, take action, your intuition is correct. Oh, follow your intuition before it makes sense. Oh, action. Oh, okay, anyway. And the Maiden. All right. So for all of these, we're definitely seeing the end of a chapter and the beginning of a new one, and how we are approaching that new chapter is where we're sort of blocked. So if that is not something that's resonating for you, then maybe choose another pile, because this is really about transitioning from one stage of existence or life or archetype into another. So let's see what your overall emotional and psychological state is. Pile number 1. Okay, so we have the Ten of Swords. All right, so right now, definitely feels as though we're feeling overwhelmed, unhappy, burdened, betrayed, really uncomfortable. Let's see what's at stake here. Okay. What's at stake? We have the Four of Pentacles. So it's something about our own stability, whether it be an emotional stability or physical stability. That's what feels like it's at stake at this point. Okay, so what are some of the outside influences? We have the Eight of Swords. Okay. So outside influences, we have the Eight of Swords. That's interesting because the Eight of Swords is typically a self-made prison, or something that we can get out of on our own because it's an outside, because it's an internal type thing. So we'll have to get into clarifying that. And then for choice, we're choosing, okay, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So something about physical, tangible actions that we're trying to make in order to go forward. So hidden positives, we have the Six of Swords. Okay, so something that's going to be moving us forward. And hidden negatives, we have the Queen of Cups. So maybe a little bit of a sense of how comfortable is this for us? Well, we want something to be more comfortable, easier, maybe even a little self-indulgent. So what are the shadows at play? The Two of Pentacles, keeping balance. Okay. All right. So let's look at this as a whole and do some clarification with our White Sage Tarot. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about Gaia's Dragon, because that's really the idea of sort of melding the masculine and the feminine, and it can mean a lot of things. It can mean it can mean marriage, it can mean pregnancy, it can mean, in the broadest sense of the term, it can mean combining your divine intuition with your tangible and earthly actions. So it's really about union. So definitely something's coming to an end. We need to get this Ten of Swords started so that we can kind of see what we're dealing with. Okay, we have the Eight of Cups in reverse, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, and the Knight of Swords. Okay, so it's coming across as a situation that you're involved in that you've sort of had the desire to walk away from, but you're resisting that because of the destabilizing sense of that Ace of Pentacles in reverse. But there's that part of you, that clear part of you that's like, no, I need to act. I need to walk away from something. There's something that you need to walk away from, or that you want to walk away from, that you're afraid of walking away from because of that sense of stability is being threatened. Let's see the Four of Pentacles. We have the Hanged Man, the Chariot, and the Nine of Cups in reverse. There's this is coming out pretty clearly as a relationship that is no longer feeling beneficial. It doesn't feel like it's no longer happy, and there's a fear of being an individual. There's this going from this sense of partnership to individual singlehood, and it's scary. There's this intimidation, but we have with the bat, we have this idea of you know when you're ready to move forward. You know when you're ready to move forward. And with the baby steps action, you know, it's time to take action before you know. You need to trust your intuition before it's sure, because with the Maiden, I mean, this is like step by step. With the Maiden, it's that progress between Maiden, Mother, Crone, right? It's time to move on. Stop playing with that. No, you're not taking my cards. It's time to move between those stages, you know. So the Maiden is young and innocent, but naive, and also stop playing with the feathers. That is also very okay, stop. Cleo, go on. No. Come on, get off the altar. She's so funny. She just thinks everything's hers. Okay. The Maiden is out to explore and to learn, but is also naive and has to learn some harsh lessons. And it looks like with that Ten of Swords that the harsh lessons have happened, and now it's learn from those harsh lessons. You have to actually learn the lesson as opposed to just hear the lesson or experience the lesson. You have to make choices going forward that change the experience, which I think that's what we're seeing with the outside influences being the Eight of Swords, is that idea of now these lessons have come in, but you are the one who has to make the choice to change who you are, or what you do, or your actions and behaviors, or even your interpretations of things in order to move forward. And I think that's really what we're seeing here with the choice, with the Seven of Pentacles as a choice. It's taking action on those lessons. Okay, but let's clarify the Eight of Swords. We have the Ten of Wands in reverse, we have the Queen of Wands, and we have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, it's exactly it. It's taking yourself out of the burden by learning from those opportunities and beginning to manifest as that Queen of Wands who has no fucks to give, and then working progressively with that Knight of Pentacles to move forward in where you need to go from here, you know. And if this is walking away from a job, a relationship, a partnership, or walking away from a lifestyle, walking away from some sort of comfort zone that is no longer serving you. It's all about moving from one point to another point. But it does feel it's something you've invested a lot in previously. All right, let's do the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Empress, the Four of Cups, and the Six of Wands in reverse. Okay, so this is a choice that is coming across feeling as though it's something that feels as though it is going to be something you want, something that pours into you, especially with this Four of Cups, right? It's something that pours into you. But there's not going to be immediate reward. You know, there's no immediate reward here. In fact, what we're seeing with the hidden positives being the Six of Swords, right? Hidden positives, Six of Swords. So it's going to be something that carries you beyond a situation, right? But the hidden negative, when I say that it's not going to be something that's got instant gratification, that expectation of the Queen of Cups, you know, that's an expectation. Let's clarify that. We got the Five of Swords, the World, and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. So we have this expectation and then this realization that there's some sort of conflict that keeps us from being, you know, because it's work, you know, we may have to go out and sort of spend that time, especially if you're dissolving some sort of a relationship with a person or a job or even an addiction or a lifestyle. There's that conflict that comes from that dissolving of it, you know, the end and but the new beginning as well with the Queen of Pentacles. It's almost like going, I loved this and I put a lot of time and energy into it, and now it's gone from being something that was emotionally fulfilling and it's down to a business transaction. Okay. When we put our heart into something and then it comes down to a business decision at the end, it's not fun. So let's look at the shadows at play, the balance, the Two of Pentacles. We have the Ten of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and Death in reverse. Okay, so here's us wanting to hold on to this idea of the happiness that we've had and the stability that we've had, and wanting to just hold on to those ideas without realizing the necessity of moving forward. Ooh. You know, it feels so much like learning how to really trust your intuition. You know, bats have sonar, and I think pile number one, I think you know that this is about your happiness. Which I think is probably part of why it feels the overall emotional state is that Ten of Swords, because you may be feeling as though you've either betrayed yourself or betrayed somebody else by changing your mind, or having, not necessarily changing your mind, but by you changing enough that that situation is no longer what you want. And that may feel like a betrayal, you know? Whether it's something that happened that you no longer were comfortable in the situation, Maybe you started doing some inner work and you realized that you needed something different. Whatever the case, what you are no longer resonating at the same or vibrating at the same frequency as the situation you're in. And you have a desire to move forward and grow. And I think that's what needs to happen for you. So let's get just some advice from the universe. We'll do one more deck. Okay. What's the last advice for pile number 1 when it comes to this major decision, where they are in their life? Okay. Some advice. Three major arcanas. The Awakening, which is Judgment, Justice, and the Wise Ones. So your advice is to lean into this change, this awakening that you're having, this adjustment, this decision to decide what is and is no longer going to be welcome in your time, in your space, in your energy. What kind of energy you're going to put towards something, okay? And as you start to break away from the things that you feel you no longer can have in your life, be strong in the idea of what is a fair separation for this, you know, and try not to do this alone, especially if it's something that is involving some sort of legal dissolving of either a relationship, a business, a partnership, whatever that may be. Make sure that you have those around you who can support and help you make sure that things are done in a fair manner. All right, pile number 1, this is the advice we have for you. I hope this helped, and we'll see you on the next read. And I'm going to try and get Cleo out of here, and we'll go to the next pile. All right, Cleo is now off the table, or off the bed. I'm actually just on my bed. So pile number 2, for your pre-shuffled oracle cards, we have Fernia, okay, with clarity. And Fernia is actually, she's really interesting because she is about being open and honest with yourself about what you want and what you love. And in a way that where she welcomes love and she shelters it, and yet at the same time is conscious of her own boundaries and not allowing it to be something that harms her. So it's a very interesting and healthy energy of that you don't want to abuse, right? You also have the Lizard, which is a very very sensory type energy. It's very in tune with the intuition. It senses things on a higher level, but from a very tangible place. And again, there's a sense of sensuality to it, which seems to be very in line with Fernia. So this Two of Swords question for you, I'm thinking, has some sort of sensual feel to it. Then you also have Deep Cellular Healing from the Starseed Oracle, okay, with Arctis energy, physical and emotional healing. And I'm seeing that as it's paired with the animal, okay, which the animal is all about being in touch with our primal self. and not denying that we are part animal. I mean, we are animals at it. Inherently, that's what we are. And being able to recognize that, both the positive and the shadow sides of that, and not try to deny ourselves that. I'm seeing all of this as being sort of a deep healing for you, that you're at this crossroads of healing. So I don't have like an 18 plus rating on this. I don't have enough viewers for that to even matter. So I'm gonna just be kind of blunt here. This feels like an opportunity of healing a sexual trauma. That's how this is coming across for me, which I find beautiful. I mean, you have the lapis lazuli, which is such a beautiful beautiful stone, and it's very intuitive and psychic, and it's got these magnificent layers within it that before it becomes lapis, it's sodalite, and it's not until this not until it develops that sort of those gold flecks in it does it actually become lapis. And that comes with pressure, you know. It's seeing something of beauty develop, not from a trauma of pressure. However, it develops from the restructuring of an individual due to the surroundings. I'm not sure I'm making a lot of sense there. What I'm trying to say is your traumas are not, they don't define you, but the way you navigate them, so your navigation is where you become who you are. So, and I'm seeing right now that there's this need for clearly understanding what you want, and sort of taking the time to enjoy the pleasure of it. All right, we're going to start with the tarot. I'm trying to clarify either a decision or just a challenging aspect of your life. Okay. So let's see your overall emotional and psychological state. We have the Three of Cups. Okay, this is happiness. This is relationships. It doesn't necessarily need to be with just a single person. It could be with a group of people. I'm not saying, you know, a group of people having relationships. What I'm saying is that this is being open to exploration with in something that involves love and joy. All right, so let's look at the challenge. What's at stake? We have the Eight of Cups, and it actually came out in reverse. So it's almost like there's a pattern of behavior you're not sure you're ready to walk away from. Let's look at the outside influences. We have the Two of Pentacles, the idea of stability and balance, and, you know, getting shit done that needs to get done. And let's look at the choice itself. The choice is the Four of Cups in reverse. I'm seeing this as you have the choice whether or not you're going to stay in an emotional state where you're perpetually disappointed, or if you're going to take some risks and risk the possibility of disappointment. Let's look at the hidden positives and the hidden negatives. So we have the hidden positives are the Sun, and the hidden negatives are the Seven of Wands in reverse. that's allowing people to go over your boundaries. That's allowing people to cross your boundaries. Okay, so let's look at the shadows at play. We have Judgment in reverse, an inability to weed out what doesn't belong in your life anymore. And let's look at the possible outcomes. With the Six of Pentacles in reverse, we're going to have to clarify that. We're going to have to clarify if you choose to make a decision, or if you choose not to make a decision, because all of this looks like, honestly, this looks like leaving a relationship where you have allowed your boundaries to be crossed numerous times, and it's been in a way that's hurt you. And fearing entering a new relationship for fear of the same thing happening. Okay, so that's where we're seeing the shadows at play. You know, are you afraid that you will allow your boundaries to continue to be crossed? Have you done enough healing that you can attract the type of healthy relationship that is safe? Okay, remember, when it comes to trauma, that is a cellular level, and healing takes time, and there are different things you can do to help yourself heal, but part of them deal with really trusting your intuition, which is hard to do if you feel like you've somehow suppressed it in the past. So look at the Three of Cups. We have Strength, the Devil, and the Ten of Wands. Okay, so seeing this as this is the moment that you are able to step up and take control of yourself and be responsible. Things happen to us. That is not, I will not deny that things happen to us. They do. And our only the only control sometimes that we have is when we decide that we're not going to allow ourselves to be in a situation where those things can happen anymore. And then we have to make more decisions and take more control. And it really is taking on that burden of how do we create the strength to fight these demons, right? Sometimes we just have to retake control over our own autonomy. So let's look at the Eight of Cups in reverse. We have the Moon, we have the Queen of Swords, and we have the Wise Ones. Okay, so there's a lot of fear of the unknown in that. There's a lot of fear of what people are going to think of us in that. There's a lot of also a lot of saying to ourselves in our heads and that we understand the truth of the situation and that it's not up to what's outside of us to control it and to fix it for us. Which is, it can be really scary and hard, which is probably why your Eight of Cups is in reverse, because, you know, that feeling of what's going to happen if we either leave a relationship, or what's going to happen if we choose to enter a relationship in a way where we have clarity and we are able to learn to love. Maybe even learn to love sensuality. So let's look at the Two of Pentacles, which is outside influences. We have the Seven of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and the King of Cups, or the Knight of Cups. That's a whole lot of energy of let's work and try and get stability while hoping for something that touches us in a heart space. It feels like we're not allowing things to touch us in a heart space. Maybe, again, I don't have enough viewers for it to really even matter about certain things, but, maybe when it has come to our physical relationships, it's been a little bit transactional, and we don't know how to enjoy it on a physical level, much less an emotional level. So let's look at the Four of Cups in reverse for the choice. I see this as a choice of it's leaving behind the disappointment of what we've experienced in the past, but being afraid of just a continued amount of disappointment. So let's look at the Four of Cups in reverse. We have the Knight of Pentacles, we have the Five of Pentacles, and we have the Ten of Swords. But this Ten of Swords in this deck, this particular Ten of Swords is about facing our own demons, about being honest with ourselves. And I think if we're honest with ourselves, a lot of this feeling of lack in these relationships, whether they be physical or emotional, that a lot of that feeling of lack is a not understanding of self. It's not understanding self, partly because of we are told so many things when we're young about what is right, what is wrong, about what a commitment to a person is, what is allowed in a commitment, what is not allowed in a commitment. And sometimes we need to really investigate for ourselves what resonates and not be listening to everything that was said to us as we were growing up. Okay? Because that created expectations for you, and those expectations led to disappointment. And you need to come out of that disappointment. It's time to come out of disappointment. And I'm telling you, if you don't know or enjoy the sensuality of yourself and don't know how to enjoy that sensuality of self, everything will be disappointing when it comes to that. Okay, so let's look at the hidden positives. We have the Sun with the Hanged One, the Four of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. You have the right to have autonomy over yourself. To change that perspective of what it means to reciprocate within those Three of Cups, and to hold your boundaries and to be firm in them and create that stability for yourself, that happiness for yourself. Let's look at the Seven of Wands, which is your hidden negatives. And I'm seeing this as allowing people to cross your boundaries. We've got the Three of Swords, but it's a different Three of Swords, the Six of Wands, and the Nine of Pentacles. So this Three of Swords is all about, first the Ace of Swords, you have clarity. Two of Swords, you start making choices, and the Three of Swords is acting on those choices, making plans and going forward. So this hidden Seven of Wands, I'm really seeing this as, hold on, I've got a phone call and I'm not going to answer it, is allowing yourself to stay within what feels comfortable by allowing your boundaries to be, it's so funny, allowing your boundaries to be crossed feels comfortable because it keeps the peace, right? You're not challenging anybody. So from the outside, things can look pretty perfect, right? Because there's no contention. But the only reason there's no contention is because nobody's saying anything, right? I wouldn't be surprised if there were some issues with your throat, okay, and your vocal cords, something with your throat chakra. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And I also wouldn't be surprised if you had some breathing issues, because there's definitely something going on with the heart and solar plexus. We're not even going to get into the root. Not even going there, because, yeah. All right. So then we have shadows at play. We have Judgment in reverse. So Nine of Wands, the Magician, and the Knight of Swords. Okay. So you've been showing me all along that you're manifesting happiness and healing, and yet when you come to the Judgment card in reverse and you're unwilling to let go of certain things in your life, whether that be people, places, things, then you're really acting counter to your manifestations, you know, which if you act counter to your manifestations, you're gonna stay where you are. Let's look at the Six of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Five of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Knight of Wands. Pile number 2, I think this boils down to a type of, it boils down to healing, definitely healing, but healing in a context of, if we're healing a sexual trauma, again, if this does not resonate for you, do not take what is not yours. Don't take what's not yours. Okay? But if you are dealing with that type of a trauma, going into another relationship where there's expectations of commitment that can bring up that same sort of power dynamic that maybe caused some, feeling as though boundaries were being crossed and nothing could be done about it. Basically, you're just being counseled that find your healing on your own, even if you are dating and exploring things, but doing it with an autonomy that says my happiness around this situation does not revolve around the other person. It wholly revolves around me being able to make my own choices and say, this is my choice. This is my choice. And it has nothing to do with whether or not you're making, big grand gestures of love to this other person. It's, I know who I am, and I am learning how to express that love in a way that is honoring to me. Yeah, I'm really holding back a lot of words. Okay, I'm holding back a lot of words. Because to be totally honest, you may need to just meet some people who are very respectful of you when it comes to sex, and learn what it is to enjoy sex for the animal aspect of it in a way where you feel you have a voice and autonomy. And if the viewer has a problem with that, then the viewer can take some time to self-reflect about their own hang-ups when it comes to the body, and that's fine. That's just fine. So let's get some final advice from the universe using the White Sage Tarot. Okay. And don't shame yourself either. Okay, pile number 2. There's no shame here. When you're making choices that you've made because you want to make those choices and you feel like that choices resonates for you, there's no shame in that. Okay, one more. That's how you heal on a cellular level. Okay. Okay. So we have the 2 of Pentacles in reverse, the 2 of Cups in reverse, and the Chariot. Okay. All right. So this is about moving on from the idea of this is what I have to do to be stable, or this is how I have to behave within a relationship, and say, no, my relationship right now is with myself, and those who I choose to bring into that space. You know, the 3 of Cups is often, you know, a third party card, right? And at this point, 2 of those cups are you and you. Okay? Whoever else you choose to bring into that relationship, that's a choice you're bringing them in. Okay? But this relationship is about you and you. All right, pile number 3, that's what I have for you. Remember, if it doesn't resonate, don't take it. It's not yours. It's for somebody else, though. It is definitely for somebody else. All right, we'll move on to pile 3. All right, pile number 3, you chose the Black Tarot and the Black Tourmaline. Okay. And for your pre-shuffled oracle cards, we have the Pendragon, which is pure male energy, the Unicorn, the Golden Children, okay, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts, and the One. Now, what's interesting here is both the Unicorn and the One are types of things that we question whether they exist. The One would be that brief moment of unity where there's no duality left in the world. Okay? Where it's not that you're right or you're wrong, or you're good or you're bad, or you're base or evolved. It's not the past, it's not the future, it's that moment of being. Okay? Where the inner and outer is one, above and below is one. And it's such a rare thing for us to be within that space, which is why it's so interesting to see it come with the Unicorn. One of those things that we question. Most of us don't even question if it's real. We just assume it's not and hope and wish it were, right? We just wish it were. But then we have, you know, those relate really well to each other. And then we have the Pendragon, which is pure male energy, and the Golden Children, which is child energy, right? So we have masculine leadership energy and child energy. And it's interesting to see these two together because the Pendragon asks us to really look at our male role models and adjust our frame to seek the most positive aspects of male role model, so that we know it. We have to see it to know it, and then we can embody it, because we can't embody what we don't know. And as children, we don't know, and there's such a power dynamic. It's so interesting because, you know, to get those two cards together and then the Unicorn and the One, it's almost like saying, look, here's these dualities and let's just bring this together. Let's bring this into a sense of oneness. So let's see what your tarot has to say. Here comes Cleopatra again. Because what kind of choices, decisions are we having to make that deal with this kind of unity, you know? And the Black Tarot is usually really straightforward. It does not pull its punches. So let's see what we got. Okay, so for your overall emotional psychological state, we have the Tower. We have a Tower moment. My very first thought here is whether some of you are suddenly going to be parents, and this is just for some of you, that there's a fear of whether or not you're going to be just parents. I mean, what type of parents are you going to be? Now, typically I would have, in the past, I probably would have just said father, you know, kind of a fear of, I don't really know how to be a father. I didn't have a good example of a father. And now here I'm finding out I'm going to be a father. But that's just for some of you. Let's look at the challenge of what's at stake, what's on the table. And we have the Two of Wands. Okay. So there's a decision, again, it's a plan that needs to be made. There's a plan that needs to be made. What are the outside influences? We have the Hierophant, so people telling you what and how you should behave. And what are the choices? The Ace of Spheres, creating something new and tangible. What is the hidden positives? We have the Page of Wands. This is child energy. This is a page. This is the youngest of the court cards, right? And it's a fiery energy. This feels even more like the idea of a child. It really does. Hidden positives. What are the hidden negatives? The Ten of Swords. Burden and betrayal. And what shadows are at play? The Seven of Spears. Worried about the work, maybe? What kind of work is going to go into this? And what are the possible outcomes? We have the Eight of Spears. This is mastery. This is solid. This is a solidness. This is ready for reaping the rewards. All right, let's get some clarity. I know that I've already, it's already feels very, very much along one line. And maybe, again, if it doesn't resonate for you, leave it behind. Leave it behind. It's just, this is how the cards are showing it to me. So let's clarify that Tower moment. You know, maybe also there's the possibility, this has just come to me, that you already have children and that you've lost the other half of the partnership for raising them, and you're wondering how to do it on your own. This is just for some of you, okay? And that's the Tower moment. Okay. All right, let's look at the Tower. We have Seven of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords. These are exactly the same three cards that came out in pile number 2, I think. Maybe it wasn't the Two of Pentacles, but it was definitely the Three of, no, it was the Ace of Pentacles. So it was the Three of Swords and the Seven of Swords. And this Three of Swords is about acting on plans, making decisions and acting on those decisions, okay, in this deck. So when it comes to this Tower, you're looking at how do you move forward with this new knowledge, this new information, and what kind of how is that going to create how is that going to affect your life, the way that you create stability in your life? That's the Two of Wands that's crossing it in the challenge. Oh, look, we have the Tower and the Eight of Cups. So another possibility is suddenly becoming a single parent, not through like an accident or death, but having actually walked away from the other parent. And now you're trying to figure out how to be all of that for that child or those children. And the outside influences, I mean, oh, come on. We've got the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Star, and we have the Four of Wands. You know, people want you to succeed. They want you to succeed. You want to succeed. And I know people have the best of intentions. And I think you can get a lot of good resources from them, as long as you keep yourself from allowing any sort of judgment to infiltrate your belief system. All right, let's look at the Ace of Spheres, which is basically the choice. I mean, again, this could be a choice to walk away from a relationship or walk away from the partnership in parenting. This could be the choice to take on the responsibility of parenting if you have an unexpected pregnancy, or this could be that, you know, you've lost the other person in some way, and you're just at that point where you have to choose to move on. So let's look at the Page of Wands, the hidden positives. They're the Six of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the King of Wands. Okay. That's public recognition. That's being strong in your manifestations. That's not just manifesting, but that's being able to manage what happens within those or from those, the consequences of those manifestations. And then the Knight of Pentacles, that's just continuing to work, that's doing the work. Okay. All to help you with this. It's like the king raising the page. It's just, I feel it's just a beautiful energy. So let's look at the hidden negatives. We have the World, the Six of Swords, and the Sun. I'm sure that for some of you, it feels a lot like your world is ending. If you're all of a sudden tied down to the idea of being a father, maybe it's a fear of failure, and the idea of not going in that direction where you're going to feel bound gives you a little, you know, there's a part of you that just says, I really want to just take care of me and not take care of this other idea. And that's okay to have those. We feel what we feel. Let's look at the shadows at play. We have the Seven of Spheres. So we have Temperance, Seven of Wands, and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, and the Nine of Pentacles is a card of independence. It's not just a card of having what you need, but it's a card of being independent. And this idea of wanting to defend that independence and sort of just say, I want to focus on this other, I want to focus on me, you know. The Seven of Pentacles, I'm doing the work, I don't want to be disappointed in it. Let's look at the Eight of Spheres as a possible outcome. We have the Three of Cups, we have the Ten of Swords, and we have the Magician. Okay. Eight of Spheres, it's a sense of mastery, but it also comes with a sense of difficulty. And anyone who's raised children knows that that's part of it. But again, you also have the Magician and you have the Three of Cups, which is about joy in a community, right? It's not just about third-party situations, which a lot of people default to. It's about joy in a community, okay? Loving relationships that involve a community. All right. So we need to do final advice. We'll do it with the Deviant Moon, if Cleo will let me do this. She does not like the sound. She likes to play with the cards. She just doesn't like the sound of the cards shuffling. There we go. Final advice. Of the High Priestess, the Seven of Swords, and the Fool. Trust your intuition. Trust your intuition. Strategize. Don't be sneaky, but strategize. And go into it with an open heart. You know, be the fool. Take on this new adventure. Again, these feel so very specific, but this is just what I'm getting from the cards. And what I get is what I get. If you chose pile number 3, it doesn't resonate, choose another pile. But there is somebody out there who this was just for them. All right. All right. Let's see. Leo, do you want to say goodbye? Oh, okay. You want to say goodbye? Yeah? All right. Say thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next read. All right.